Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we have got the 10 times chance to pull different champions tomorrow. It always now seems to come in line with this clan v clan tournament as well. So they're trying to get the whales to whale out at other times other than just the weekend. I'll go through the champions that are available. Obviously, we've also got the fusion going on as well. So, you know, depends how many shards you've got floating around. Are you actually interested in this new fragment dude? I am putting out a guide, a video on the fragment dude later today. And maybe I was a bit wrong with my initial kind of assessment. I have played him now on the test server, and there are some good things about him, albeit he's never going to be like the champion that breaks the game, in my opinion. So you can go and check that out later on today. I've also dropped this pack earlier today, the Privilege pack, only for people that are playing on Plarium Play. They kind of did an announcement about this. I thought it was a free pack. I thought it was like, come and play on Plarium Play. We'll give you a freebie. They don't. They give us a $21.99. Well done. I guess the pack is probably reasonable value, though. So if you're on Plarium Play, I don't know. Comment below. Is that something you're interested in picking up, or is it still a bit pricey? Not sure. I guess with the Legendary Tome in there and a few voids, it's reasonable, I think. Okay. Let's get into these champions then. I guess, actually, another thing, before I get into the champions, they're going to do, in line with the Fragment event, some of these super raids where you get to run your energy twice as fast. So, the 17th of Jan, they're doing Spider's Den. 20th, they're doing Dragons. 24th, they're doing Fire Knights. And then on the 27th, they're doing Ice Golems. I think they're all going to just be in line with the Fragment event, which is better. It kind of speeds up your use of energy in the game. It's one thing they're doing so far, which is a kind of decent thing to speed up time, but I wish they'd just be on all the time so that we can just double our dungeon runs whenever we want. Anyway, let's get into this. There's only 6 champions in the mix here. It's definitely a Shadowkin vibe with the Shadowkin faction dropping. Is it already in game? I think it is now. Shadowkin is live. It opens in 3 days. 3 days to get your teams ready. And if you are an end game player like me that's already completed your faction wars, there'll be a few extra prizes. How do I see the prizes? I thought it was here. Maybe it is, yeah. So we're going to have this kind of first run of a bit of energy, a void shard, an epic book, into another void shard, a legendary book, and a 5-star chicken. So there's a few extra rewards, but those that hadn't already got Lydia, she's now a slightly harder target. So yeah, this is going to be a Shadowkin pull. And I guess some people are going to need to strengthen their rosters, but I don't know if this is the right time to do it. Honestly, if you've been around and have got Ninja, he should be a hard carry in terms of damage and some control. And if you've already got a few of the epics in the bank, like a Taragi or Tatsu, you know, you should be in a good place to at least deal with a lot of this. So the rares generally are crap in this faction. Let's go through them then. Who we got? Burengiri is first up. Actually, a really, really good rare. And he will be really strong in this faction for Faction Wars. So he's got Provoke A1. It's okay. This is what I like about him, though. AoE stun on his A2. So unbooked 40, booked 60% chance of throwing out an AoE stun for an epic. That's actually really strong. So in terms of control for your Faction War teams, he would be pretty solid. Also brings some nice buffs as well. Strengthen and shields. And he's got this passive. This is why he's used in some Bommel stuff. But heals this champion by 50% of the max HP when an ally dies. That's not as strong in Faction Wars. It's good. It will keep him alive. But you need all of your team alive to get those 3 stars. So that's not going to come up as clutch in Faction Wars. Got a bit of resistance as well. A good epic. Definitely a good epic for this faction. Taragi, currently part of my clan boss team. My clan boss team can hit up to 200 mil. And he's a big part of it. So he's got a decreased attack A1. Someone was telling me this lands even with weak hits, which is weird. I've not gone and retested it myself, so I might be wrong. But it's weird if it does, because you definitely need accuracy to land it. But anyway, he's HP based. He's got a decent starting HP pool. Quite easy to keep alive. Decreased attack is good for Faction War bosses and generally good for clan boss. He's got an AoE provoke, which is another good control mechanic, especially for that Faction War kind of team. So this is actually a really nice one as well. The chance increases by 5% for each debuff on the enemy. If you've already landed like your decreased defense and stuff, then all of a sudden you're going up to more like a 75, which is pretty strong as well for waves. 3-turn cooldown on this. And then he's also got this shield ability here. Places a shield equal to 15% of his max HP. So again, you're in control of that. It's really nice. Also ally protection to keep the rest of your team alive. And heals this champion by 25% of their max HP and places reflect damage on them. This is actually really good. It's a really good ability. Get some heals, additional heal benefit from poisons. And then when he's taking hits, he puts poisons out there. This guy is like an absolute meathead for Faction Wars. This dude is going to be solid Faction Wars for most people's teams. And we then got, for the Void, Gembo the Dishonored. Straight out nuker, really good arena champion. Double hitter on his A1. Each hit steals increase attack buffs. And a chance to steal random buffs as well. The increased attack buff still cannot be resisted, so he doesn't need accuracy to do that, but he would for random buffs. AoE on his A2, this one hits hard. 100% if booked, chance of decreasing the duration of any buffs. So again, for Faction Wars, that's pretty solid. You know, just reducing the amount of, or the turn count of a buff on the enemy team. This cannot be resisted on crits. Pretty damn solid, actually. And then he's got buffs on his A3 for himself as well. Ignores unkillable stuff. So if you've got annoying waves in this Faction War team, like the Paragon type waves and stuff, he ignores all of that and just blows them up. So yeah, he's also got speed in arena. That's not going to help here, but he's a good champion and would be solid for Faction Wars as well, to be fair. So onto the legendaries then. One that I would like is this champion here, Kauku. Damn, this is a really solid tank. One of the best tanks in the game now, I'd say. So weaken on her A1, pretty good. AoE decrease attack on her A2, which gets flipped into an HP burn if someone else is putting decreased attack on. So that, for like endgame content, is really solid ability because you're controlling which of the two you're going to play. And it's 4-turn cooldown, which is not too bad. Ally Protect here. When she puts it out there, she throws block damage on herself. So she's halving the damage your team takes whilst taking no damage herself. That's nuts. That's actually nuts. 4-turn cooldown on this. And then she's got this almost like Seeker type passive, but upgraded. Yeah, so every time she's hit by a crit, she heals your team, then puts increased defense on them all. 4-turn cooldown on this. Defense in all battles. She is a solid legendary champion. Really great tank. Who else we got on here? Genzin. He's just quick. He's the decreased defense champion for this faction. So this is actually big in terms of legendary ability for Faction Wars. Outside of Faction Wars, there's plenty of other people that can do it. And they bring more than this guy. So this guy is great for this faction. I don't think he's particularly great for the game. He gets a lot of turn meter feel when he's doing stuff. And he can run quick. He can kind of burn through campaign really fast and not take hits and stuff. But I don't think he's a great champion. But for a decreased defense for this faction, it's actually really solid. And then the last one is a really great Void legendary champion. So Rico Bone Spear. She throws out some heals on her A1. She puts out all of the debuffs on her A2. But this is probably the best thing about her. So she does a cleanse, then puts block debuffs on your team, heals your team as well. This ability here on a 3-turn cooldown generally is insane, but for Faction Wars, crazy. Like, it's so good. She's also got this passive here as well. So when receiving a debuff herself, she just transfers it straight back to the attacker. So that's actually a really good like hedgy counter or timer counter in the arena for like end game players. But this is a great legendary champion. So look, that's the 6. Pretty much all decent, I'd say, apart from Genzin there. Are you going to pull shards from them? It totally depends on your situation. Do you want to try and bolster your Shadowkin faction? Do you pull shards during clan versus clan anyway? It's up to you guys. I only would if it was like an exceptional circumstance, and my Shadowkin kind of roster's pretty solid anyway, so I don't think I'm going to struggle with it, but up to you guys. Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.